way there, okay? But let's dive into this, man. Christian Watson conversation. Really excited about this. I don't know. Did you see this video? This came out from Sleeper Packers account. Really, really cool account. I don't know who's running that over there on X. They're doing a phenomenal job, though, man, giving us great content, great coverage from training camp. Did you see this video on Christian Watson, Jacob, by chance?
I did not. Nope.
All right, let's hit it here. I'm going to try to mute it real quick if I can. And you guys let me know in the chat, is that choppy or not? And I can't put it on repeat, so I'll just play it over and over. Does that look pretty clear to you, Jacob?
It looks pretty clear. The first one had a little chop, but now it looks like it's running smooth.
Look at our boy, man. Does he not look good? Does he not look smooth here? Right?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So really, really excited to see him continue.
I would not expect him to be making moves like that.
Yeah, definitely. So Matt Schneiden put a tweet out, said we're not allowed to shoot rehabbing players, but Christian Watson's cutting pretty sharply and running quite fast on the sidelines. So obviously some people are breaking the rules, and it is what it is, right? But really cool that Matt Schneiden put that tweet out. I've seen a couple other people comment on it that were at practice today. They seem to be really, really impressed with the progress that Christian Watson's making. I also seen this tweet from Dave Schroeder. I hope I'm saying that name right. Christian Watson hit 22 miles per hour running sprints in his rehab. Today at Packers camp, Watson was really cutting it loose running sprints as he continues to rehab from ACL surgery. Asked him how fast the GPS tracker said he was running, 22 miles per hour. He says his career best is 23. So he's closing in on his top speed when he's fully up. If you're running 22 miles per hour, Jacob, bro, you're pushing that thing to the limit. Now, it's the cutting ability, obviously straight line. That's a little bit different than cutting, which we've seen on that video. To me, you look like he's probably 50, maybe 65% pace there on that cut. But what do you think about Christian so far, man? Do you think we see him before November 1st, or do you think it's going to be after November, man?
I think we will see him before that. Maybe I'm a homer, but the way that he's running, the way that he seems like he's comfortable planting that foot, and the way that, I don't know, just so fast, even him riding the bikes, if there was an injury that they were really worried about, something like, that Jaw or Bach had, I don't think they'd be letting him do any of this stuff. I think that they're very comfortable with the way that he's rehabbing, and it's pretty phenomenal to see he's already running 22 miles per hour.
Yeah, definitely. And then I pulled this from July 27th, which I think this is so important, man, that Christian hasn't missed anything, man. He's been right there every step of the way. They got a couple of young receivers that stepped into camp that we pretty much know are going to make the roster barring any crazy injury. But Sleeper Packers tweeted this out, said, this was on July 27th. I've noticed in the first week of camp that Christian Watson's been very involved. Here's suited up and staying by his group of wide receivers, even though he's not fully practicing yet. Not saying he'll be ready week one, but this says a lot about his commitment to his recovery and this team. That's been the biggest thing that's really stood out to me, Jacob, is the fact that he's been working so closely with this wide receiver group. And to me, you got to take that into account when you're looking to potentially extend Christian Watson, right? I mean, obviously, we got to make sure the knee checks out once he's back on the field. Okay, yeah, it's good. There's no lingering effects. You don't run into a situation like you did with Bakhtiari. You don't run into a situation like you did with Jair Alexander. Make sure he's fully healthy. But there's some added value to re-signing a guy that is this kind of team player, too, that just wants to be around the facility, wants to be around the guys, even though he can't fully participate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that actually was the point that I was going to make, is that's the type of person if you have to decide between 2 or 3 contracts of a certain positional group, like the wide receiver room, that you want to extend one of them, that's going to absolutely give that guy an edge, I believe. And I don't know how you could ask more of Christian Watson. And I think it honestly is because his dad was a pro and probably told him how to handle situations of adversity like this. And I just think that I just feel like that he'll be a Packer in the future. I really do.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Now, we got a little bit of news going on across the league here. I'm sure you've seen this too, Jacob. But Terry McLaurin has officially requested a trade. How would we feel about trading Dobbs and a draft pick or two to the Commanders? I know it's highly unlikely to happen, though. Just want y'all's thoughts. LOL. So that was Aaron Rodgers' agent. Thank you so much for asking that question, man. For me, it's real simple. I'm not interested in Terry McLaurin. The reason that he's holding out and requesting a trade, or holding in, whatever you want to call it, is because he's wanting top receiver money, right? He's wanting that, probably 30 to 40 million per range. And I'm not sure how old he is now, Jacob. He's got to be closing in on 30. It feels like he's been in the league for a while now. I don't
Yeah.
want to upset what we got going on here, man. You know, if it was, hey, he would agree to play for 1 year and we could give up a 5th round pick for him, absolutely. I would do that in a heartbeat. But to me, it just feels like it's not worth it there to try to tie yourself to an aging receiver, albeit he's been great and he hasn't shown any decline to the best of my knowledge right now. But what do you think about that question there about Terry McLaurin? For me, it's a no.
Yeah. Coach Lynn's saying he's almost 30. Pretty sure that's pretty accurate. No, I don't need to pick up anybody, any free agent wide receiver that has any sort of issue or baggage, especially when this wide receiver room, we've spent a lot of draft capital on it. We have a lot of guys that absolutely are fan favorites and a lot of talent to the point where I think some of our UDFAs could be number 2s and number 3s on some teams. I really do. So I don't want to invite any kind of more drama, because you bring a guy like that in, there's not going to be a contract that any of the other guys are going to think is fair that I would want to pay him. I don't think that McLaurin's going to take whatever pay cut that he'd have to take for it to even seem logical. And I don't want to trade draft picks. I just never want to do that for a wide receiver.
Yeah.
At least
and again,
now.
Right. And I'm not saying that's a silly question by no stretch of the imagination. Please don't take that the wrong way, whoever it was that asked that. No. I'm just simply saying for me, it would be a no, unless you could get a 1-year rental and pay darn near nothing. But I think what the Commanders are probably looking to do is they're looking to hold on to him. They're going to hold his feet to the fire, just like they are with our boy Trey Hendrickson up there in Cincinnati, right? Which you guys seen him buckle, that happened. He's in camp now. He put up that big dramatic Instagram post like he's back in Florida now. All of a sudden he's back back in camp holding in. So I think he's about to cave in and just show up and play ball, I believe. So, all right, man. Anything else on Christian Watson, Jacob? Anything at all on the receivers? Anything like that?
No, but I am just honestly really proud of how well he has taken this adversity and turned it into like a teaching moment. And for him, I think that honestly, the way he's handled himself is catapulting him to the top of guys that we probably need to re-sign.
Yeah, definitely.